All right, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Ram. You're back in another lesson, Lord, willing to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahab, Rakakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the justice of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. So you got another lesson I want to bring out through the Spirit of the Lord. As you see in the U.S. Army is crumbling before they even get into a fight with the two main powers, man. They're crumbling. And a lot of our, I ain't gonna say our, but a lot of these service members are trying to get out of the military as quick as possible, man. They see it as no wise counsel in the White House. Their commander-in-chief is not a wise, he's not a man of war, man. He is not a wise man according to military standards, because he's making war with everyone. And anyone in their right mind knows that you don't want to make war with your own allies. That's stupid. So let's get into these videos, hit a couple scriptures, and Lord willing to be edifying. As you see, it says, recorded number of U.S. service members now seeking conscience objector status as they sound alarm about war.
We have some major news. A record number of U.S. service members are now seeking conscientious objector status as Donald Trump's Iran war rages on. That means they're seeking to leave the military because participating in the war now conflicts with their deeply held moral or ethical beliefs. We just did a deep dive on this on a new episode of the Midas Touch podcast. Make sure to give it a listen. According to MS Now, one organization that helps service members through that process says that applications have surged to 6 times their normal rate. It's the highest level they've seen in 25 years. Troops are reportedly raising concerns about civilian casualties, military strikes, and whether they're being asked to violate international law. But the story gets even bigger than that. Pentagon officials and U.S. allies are also sounding alarms about depleted weapon stockpiles, with more than 30 ships reportedly pulled from the Pacific and shifted to the Middle East. And that raises major questions about America's readiness as China, Russia, and North Korea watch closely. There is much more to the story. We break down the full report on the Midas Touch podcast. Listen to it now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts.
See, I said they're not ready for the big players, man. And all these military guys, they're ready to get out of the Army, man. They're ready to get out of the military. And that's why you're going to have a draft in the next, month or so? 2 months? Next 2 months? Because a lot of these soldiers that's getting at which they're not going to be able to get out. They're going to have it where they're not going to be able to get out. But the point is, they're seeing what's going on, man. They see that they can't win. And it's only going to get worse from here, man, because you're going to have more soldiers getting in that's being drafted. They're not going to have the experience that these soldiers already have, man. So now you're seeing that, like it says right here, record numbers leave the military due to illegal orders. So these people have a conscience, man. And that's the reason why they're not going to want to fight.
The number of people who are trying to leave the military, as you mentioned, as conscientious objectors. And really, they pointed to the specific military campaigns that the United States has started over the past year. I spoke to one service member who was deployed in support of Operation Epic Fury, which, of course, is the war in Iran. And this person told me that they believe that they were ordered to target and blow up and bomb civilian infrastructure, which, of course, is a violation of international humanitarian law as defined by the Geneva Accord. I also spoke with 2 different service members who were given orders to support Operation Southern Spear, which of course is the military campaign that President Donald Trump began last September, which led to those 60 boat strikes that you were talking to, where those vessels were allegedly carrying narco terrorists and drugs that were being funneled into the United States. They also resulted in at least 210 people who were killed. And both of those service members say they were concerned that there was a lack of intelligence or justification for each of these boat boat strikes. One of them in particular said, you can tell yourself what you want at night and say they were all precision strikes and they were all planned, but there's at least one innocent person that I feel like I indirectly hurt. So it was not just a violation potentially of these international laws. A lot of them said that they, cited these surge in civilian death tolls. Many of them talked about that Manab school bombing that happened in Iran at the beginning of this war, where 150 schoolgirls and teachers died.
There you go, man. See, these military guys is giving a lot of reasons why they want to get out, man, because they feel like they basically committing crimes, international crimes against people, man. And see, DJT, he's not thinking that way. He pretty much trying to force them to do what he commands them to do. Like he's got Peter Hegseth and all this rhetoric he's blowing out. These people have a conscience, man. And not only that, though, they don't want to be the bad guy. Because you got to think, these are young guys just getting out of high school, probably just college age. And they could be doing anything, man. They want to go to the military just to get a career. Now they're seeing that they're doing stuff that they're going to be held as demonized and held as an enemy of the whole world, man. And see, they see social media. They see what's going on. They're not blind to what's coming. And they see that they're going to just escalate this war for the small caps, man. And this is what it's all about, man. The last World War. And they see it coming fast as we see it, man. And it's ultimately going to lead to them fighting against the Lord himself. So check this out, man.
These new cases highlight the growing push by the government to crack down on illegal immigration. Supporters say the rules are the rules. Critics say, though, this is a major policy shift that's taking a toll on American troops. This morning, the wife of a U.S. Army sergeant is the latest spouse of a military service member to be deported from the U.S. after the Trump administration rolled back immigration protections for military families. Sergeant Haydar Juarez says ICE officers detained his wife Christy outside a Walmart as their daughter watched from her car seat.
They claim they're going for like the worst criminals in this country. My wife doesn't have a criminal record. She has never had any kind of problems with the law, not even a traffic ticket.
The Homeland Security Department says his wife illegally entered the United States in 2016 from Honduras and was removed from the United States in accordance with our laws. The Associated Press found more than 50 spouses and parents of U.S. military service members have now been swept up in the government's crackdown on illegal immigration. An ABC News review found none of the spouses had criminal records. Advocates claim it's taking a toll on the troops.
Our service members are having to fight two battles, one in the forefront, really because we are a country of war, and at home front, making sure that their families are being taken care of.
In another case, a sailor on the USS Lincoln, who's serving a record 9-month deployment at sea, says his father back in Florida has been detained by Border Patrol. Joshua Avila saying, I don't know how I can mentally continue working 12-plus-hour days, knowing my dad is somewhere possibly treated like a criminal. The family saying he was working toward getting legal status. Homeland Security responding, saying, having a family member in the military is not a free pass to violate our nation's laws.
Sergeant Turcios and no other service member is asking for any exception to the law. All we're asking is for the judicial process to take place.
Now, in a separate development, the Trump administration is now planning to revoke the business and tourism visas of up to 200,000 foreigners who are seeking asylum. The Associated Press says it would be the largest revocation of visas in U.S. history.
There you have it, man. So they're not mentally they're not going to be mentally into the fight. You know, your wife is taken into one of these camps. You can't see her, can't talk to her. She finna get the sent to her own country that she, pretty much came over here from, and like this guy, his father was taken. So you're gonna see that this is a stressful thing, man. Then not only that, you're going into war with no equipment, no way to win. So you're seeing this these people don't have wise counsel, man. You have to have someone that knows what they're doing and can pretty much give you the edge on winning the fight, man. As all these military guys, Peter Hegseth and Trump, pretty much demoted or made them retire. See, these military guys have been in all these different wars, and Peter Hegseth was he was a Fox News anchor, and DJT was a businessman. Now they're not men of war, man. Now you're seeing that this is basically having the military spiral out of control, man. And this is what's going to leave America defenseless because these guys that they're pretty much pushing against, they're not going to want to fight. They're not going to want to go to war for Babylon the Great, man. Now check this out.
Kiss America's drone fighting expertise goodbye as Secretary Hegseth of the Defense Department and Donald Trump are getting rid of America's only drone expertise battalion because they want to get back to the basics and fighting drones. Who cares about fighting drones? It doesn't matter nowadays, does it? They established this special battalion in Europe of the US Army to learn from the expertise of the Ukrainians because the war with Russia is a drone war, and also, frankly, the war with Iran now is also a drone war. But Hegseth decided that we were focusing on things that were irrelevant. We should be fighting, and Trump too, right? We should be fighting the way we did in World War II. Trump is redesigning all the boats so they look more like World War II. Billions of dollars for our ships so they look more like World War II. And now we're getting rid of our drone fighting ability because it's not basic. These guys are crazy, guys. This is what happens again, and I say this repeatedly, when you put people in office who don't know what they're doing. This is what happens. Trump was not qualified to be commander-in-chief, and Hegseth is a Fox News personality who isn't qualified to be Secretary of Defense. And now he's getting rid of our drone fighting capability. Absolutely unbelievable.
And see, World War II was a hand-to-hand battle, man. And this right here is a matter of fact, I'll get it in Isaiah 9. But you see that they don't have wise counsel, man. Neither one of those people that's over the military knows what they're doing, man. And everyone knows it. Other nations know it as well, man. Now, Peter Hegseth, like he said, was a Fox News anchor. He doesn't know anything about war. He was in the military, but shit, he doesn't know about war, controlling the military. Come on, man. And getting rid of their specialists on drones. Iran is fighting an asymmetric war, man. It's a tactical war. It's not no hand-to-hand combat that World War II was. They're not even really coming in close contact with each other. And this is what we know, that this man don't know what he's doing, man. This is Isaiah 9 and verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." See, this fight is going to be with burning and fuel of fire, man. Asymmetric war, man. NLT, it says, "The boots of warrior and the uniforms blood stained by war." See, in World War II, is close hand-to-hand combat, man. You get up on the guys and you shoot them down. But now they're flying drones from miles away and hitting the targets, man. It says, "The boots of the warrior and the uniforms blood stained by war will all be burned. They will be fuel for the fire." See, that's why we see it in Russia and Ukraine. They're just shooting drones, burning them up, blowing them up. They got bombs strapped to the drones. Boom, the drone come down and then take them out. Same thing that Iran was using against America, man. They was firing off their drones. Asymmetric warfare. Now, like I said, I keep saying this, and it's in the scriptures. This is Proverbs 12 and verse 15. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. See, a fool, his way is right in his own eyes, man. You gotta, when you taking on this type of fight, you gotta have people that's around you to tell you the right thing to do, man. You just can't make moves without wise counsel. You want to get everybody killed, man. And this is what DJT is doing, man. He's fucking around and gonna get everybody killed, especially here in Babylon the Great. And it says, "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearken unto counsel is wise." And that's why you can see that the way they're using their military, like Iran and Russia and China, they use their military because they got everyone that is basically strategically put in place to specialize in drones or tanks or whatever. You see here, man, they got rid of all those generals, man, that was specialized in different warfare, man. They got rid of them, especially the Jakes, man. It says a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. And see, this, man, we already say, man, this is a shameful man, man. He doesn't care what other people think. And when you walking in life, you got to care what other people think to an extent, especially when it's going to benefit you or hurt you, man. Now get this real quick. This is Proverbs 11. This is Proverbs 11 and verse 15. It says, "He that is certainty for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth certship is sure." Let me get to the NLT and just make it even plainer. It says, "There is a danger in putting up security for a stranger for a stranger's debt. It's safer not to guarantee another person's debt." That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. 11. I wrote the wrong scripture there. That ain't it. Salakia. I know it's Proverbs 11. Oh, there you go. Salakia. It's 5. I put 15. It says, "The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness," man. So he's not taking wise counsel, man. He's gonna fall in his own wickedness. And we seeing him he's falling now, man. He's even puffing up at his allies. Now we see that DJT, he doesn't care about his allies, man. Because they're not helping him. Because they don't see any benefit in going to war at this time, man. They're not prepared. But the Russians are preparing to strike the NATO, man. This is Proverbs 28 and verse 26. It says, "He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool." See, you trusting in your own mind, you're a fool, man. It says, "But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered." And that's plain, man. That's plain. It says, in the NLT, it says, "Those who trust in their own insight are foolish. But anyone who walks in wisdom is safe." And that's plain, man. They're not walking in wisdom, man. Because they think they already got it figured out. And the Lord got them, he got them in a trap, man. Because they're not going to come out of this World War III on top. They're going to be destroyed, man. This is Proverbs 20 in verse 18. "Every purpose is established by counsel." See, everything is established by counsel, man. When you do something, you have to have wise counsel, man. You got to research. You got to think it all the way through. You just can't make rational decisions, man. You got to be able to look what you need to do and figure it out, baby, before you do it. See, this is what they don't do that, man. So he went in there, stroke Iran, and thought that he was just going to puff up at them and they was just going to bow down and tuck their tail and head back home. But they didn't do it, man. That's why the whole world sees how weak Babylon the Great is, man. It says, "For every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war." See, with good advice make war. You just don't make war with people and you don't know what the hell going on, man. You don't know how many weapons they got. You don't know how many of their military might. You don't know if they're going to strike back. See, this is what DJT did, man. He thought that it was going to be just like Venezuela. They was going to send some troops in, hit them with all these supersonic weapons or hypersonic weapons or whatever, tactics they used to just subdue the army, and they was just going to come out on top, man. And they failed, man. So that's why the Lord, he always used men in war. He always make good counsel, man. You gotta have good counsel, man, to win, man. Be set up, and all these military guys are seeing that they don't have wise counsel, man. They're not being directed to win, man. Again, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. And you got to have good advice to make war, man. And see, this is why they're being put in a trap, man. Because they don't see that the whole world is watching what they're doing, man. They already ran out of weapons to, the counter missiles, man. They don't have any more of them, and they try to just blow it over like this is just a hoax, or they just, DJT was saying it was just a hoax. We got plenty of weapons, man. Everybody knows that they don't have enough weapons to fight, man. This is Jeremiah 51:30. It says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight." See, they're not going to want to fight, man. It says, "They have remained in their holes. Their might have failed." See, and you can't be over there worried about what's going on at home, man. I remember the movie, Dead Presidents, and he was over in the Vietnam War, and he told them, man, he was like, man, when I'm over here, I don't worry about the world is dead to me when I'm over here. Because if you think about going home, you're not going to make it home. That's what he told him in Dead Presidents, man. It was a heavy little part in there. But he says, their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned their dwelling places. Her bars are broken. And see, this is what's going to happen, man. They don't see that they're going to win, and they're going to give up, man. They're going to be as women. They're going to give up, man. And see, everything is being put in place, man, to come against Babylon the Great, man. It says, "One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end." And see, this is plain, man. This is what's going to happen to this modern day Babylon. It says, "And that the passage are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are frightened." They're frightened, man. And that's what's coming, man. They're not going to want to fight. It says, verse 32, it says, all, in NLT, it says, all the escape routes are blocked. The marshes have been set aflame, and the army is in a panic. And see, you can see that that's why everybody's, I ain't say everybody because I don't know how many people, but it's up to, like one thing the woman said, it's been the highest it's ever been in the history of America, man. People trying to lead the military. So they seeing that there's no win, man. That the leader, DJT, is setting them up for failure. He's setting them up to be destroyed, man. Now, this is Jeremiah 50. I'm going to get it in NLT. In verse 35, it says, "The sword of destruction will strike the Babylonians, says Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It will strike the people of Babylon." And that sword is coming here, man. Because they're going to know that once they destroy those military might in these different areas, it's coming here, man. It says, "It will strike the people of Babylon." That's here in Babylon the Great, man, America. It says, "Her officials and wise men too." So they're gonna, man, it's gonna be destruction all over Babylon the Great, man. It's gonna be a wrap. It says, "The sword will strike her wise counselors." See, it's gonna strike her wise counselors, what they have left, and they will become fools. The sword will strike her mightiest warriors, and the panic will seize them. See, the sword will strike her horses and chariots. Talking about their weapons, man. Your tanks and your planes and all their military assets they have. It says the sword will strike her horses and chariots and her allies from other lands. See, wherever they at, man. It says, and they will all become like women. See, they've been set up, man. And they don't have a clue that they're being set up. All these nations are preparing to fight against two nations, man. The small caps in Babylon the Great, man. So when they're getting hit from all these different areas by their own allies and by the other nations, they're going to be terrified, man. That's why they see, man. They trying to hit the exit, man, before they even make it to China and Russia. They know what's coming, man. It says, and they will all become like women. The sword will strike her treasures, and they will all be plundered. And that's what we want our people from, man. You better repent before this time is too late, man, because destruction is at the door, man. This thing can happen in a day. Donald Trump just put out today that the infrastructure of the power is weak. So they know it's going to be a power outage all over America, man. Maybe through an EMP or a cyber attack. They know that's coming, man. And it's not going to. They said it was for 18 months. It's never going to come back up again, man. This is what's being put in place. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 7. It says, "Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." See, it says, "And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman in travail, and they shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames," man. So they're gonna be terrified, man, for what's gonna happen. They're gonna be terrified for what's already happening, man. And we're not even seeing everything that's going on, man. We just getting secondhand news, man. Now check this out. This is what they didn't really want to put out there, but they had to. Because a lot of people was wanting to know how many troops have died, how many military guys have been hurt. It's right here. It says over 770 U.S. troops killed, wounded in Iran's war. Pentagon data shows. So they're seeing that they don't have no win, man. And they just put that out, man. And it might be more than that. So like I said, we getting secondhand news, but they're dying over there, man. They didn't put that on the news, man. They won't put that on the news because there'll be an uproar here in Babylon the Great, man. Because they're seeing that they're losing the war. They're going to see that they're losing the war, man. But this is biblical prophecy, man. It's got to happen. This is Isaiah 34 and verse 2. It says, "For the indignation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury is upon all their armies," man. So the Lord is against every army, man. He's coming back to fight against these nations, man. He says, "He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter," man. So you're seeing that the Lord is putting in place these armies to fall, man. He gathered them to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, man. Right there in the Middle East. And that's where all the nations are, man. Getting ready for the Lord return and to fight against each other, man. This is Nahum. I want to get that. Nahum 1. In verse 2 it says, power is jealous, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua revengeth. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua revengeth, and his fury is Salakia. It says Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. And the armies of the world are his enemies, man. That's what I was speaking of earlier. He's coming to take all these nations down, man. But to tell you in Revelations about him taking the crowns of the rulers, man. So you're seeing that the Lord is setting this nation, Babylon the Great, up strategically, man, for this destruction. Let me hit you with one more scripture and we'll end it. Let's get Jeremiah, Jeremiah 49 and 12? Let me hit that. Jeremiah 49 verse 12. I think I might have hit that. Let's get here. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 49 and 12. It says, "For thus say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken." And that's the Israelites. It says, "And art thou he that shall not altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink. Thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that Basra, which is modern day America, shall become a desolation and a reproach, a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste." And that's what we're telling you, man. This place is going to be utterly wasted, man, from New York to California, man. He says, "I have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle." See, all these nations are preparing to fight against Babylon the Great, man. And that's what we're telling you through the Spirit, man. They're going to get destroyed from all the nations that they have bases in to utterly wasting Babylon the Great, man. So let's end it right there. Lord, when is edifying. Shalom.